Hello everyone, it's your girl Asia from the Rant channel. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another Degrassi topic video. So boom, listen y'all. Last night before a bitch went to bed, two topics in my head from Degrassi literally came in my brain last night. I was able to get some good sleep to where I woke up and really wanted to just discuss about these two topics. The first of all, the two topics I really want to talk about is how I feel like Degrassi really fumbled a bag by not doing a love triangle with Miles, Maya, and Tristan. And I really want to talk about the disgusting relationship storyline with Tristan and Mr. Yates. That's actually going to be the first topic I talk about right now in this video because I can't stand teacher and student relationships. I just think they're fucking disgusting, and I feel like you could make a teen drama show with teenagers being in high school without having to do something with teacher and student. That's just my opinion. You could have drama and do other storylines with your characters other than doing some shit that's like them being preyed on by a fucking adult, to me, in my opinion. I do want to say that I am almost done with season 12's episodes. I'm like towards the end at this point. I already reviewed the last two episodes of their prom already, so you're not going to see me review those again. But as for the other episodes, they're getting reviewed. Some of these episodes I kind of don't need to rewatch because towards the end of these episodes, I somewhat remember some of the episodes. Some of them I'm out of touch with them, but some of them I definitely do remember. But I will try my best to get them uploaded as fast as humanly possible since I am close to the end, so we can start season 13 as fast as possible. Now, Tristan and Mr. Yates' relationship is from a season 13 storyline. They started dating, and they started dating in Hypnotized, called episodes 13. The fuck, what would I say? They started dating in episode 35 of season 13, and then they broke up. And Out of My Head, literally an episode after they just got together, called it's episode. Oh my god, why the fuck can I not talk? They broke up an episode Out of My Head, which is episode 36 of season 13. I keep getting confused because of the way she got the episodes. Like, she got the episode number in front of before season 13. So that's why I keep getting confused. So please, like, I apologize. So I only remember some of this storyline, but I feel like once I like went on Degrassi's app, so I could try to refresh my mind when it comes to the storyline, this relationship is really fucking disgusting. And I already mentioned this. What the fuck happened to the storylines in Degrassi where if a kid went through something traumatizing, then it kind of affected them, right? So y'all know how Cam's suicide kind of affected Maya her entire life. Like, she kind of been messed up since Cam's suicide. I feel like they could have showed her actually in therapy a little bit more. They did like clarify that once Cam died, her mother and her father did put her in therapy. They had no choice but to, because it's like her ex-boyfriend just killed himself, and it's not like my daughter is in the right mental state. They did say that she did get a therapist after Cam, but it would have been nice if we saw those therapy sessions. Just like with Claire. Why the fuck was Claire the only girl who went through something traumatizing, like being groped by a man, that had no effect on her? Like in season 12, I have a huge problem with her having like zero effect. She just got groped by her fucking mentor at her fucking job, and she's just happy dandy. She's just okay in the other episodes. It's like if you weren't gonna do the storyline correctly, where it does traumatize young women and young girls after they went through something traumatizing, don't do the storyline at all. Because Paige, Darcy, and Zoe, when they all went through their sexual assault storylines, it affected them. It did. It affected them completely. It affected them to the max. With Zoe, it affected her to where she didn't want to be a victim, and that's why she did what she did with the girls when it came to the whole Degrassi News storyline. Like, Zoe, how can you even be okay with exposing girls all over the internet with their boobs out when you were exposed all over school with videos, pictures of what was done to you? That's what I'm talking about. She didn't want to be known as a victim, so that's why it was okay for her to do what she did toward the girls. That's what I'm talking about, and having a huge effect on her. She didn't want to be known as a victim, but it was okay with her victimizing them. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it had a huge effect on them. Darcy, it had a huge effect on her. Darcy's sexual assault had a huge effect on her. I don't like when people say, oh, she started acting out. There's no acting out. She has trauma for being sexually assaulted. I don't agree with her coming on to Mr. Simpson and then try to make it seem like he did something to her when he didn't. I don't agree with that, but I can't necessarily blame her because she was going through shit. You feel me? And I feel like she was really trying to reach out, but she just did it in an inappropriate way. And with Paige, her sexual assault affected her. Like, what happens to those storylines where kids go through like traumatizing shit that they get affected, like they're scarred for life? This shit with Tristan and Mr. Yates, I don't know if they wrote this because Tristan is naive when it comes to love, and that since he wants it really bad, that he's willing to just go to the ends of earth of it. I would never blame a child for any reason for being in a relationship with someone that's like that's like grown, like with an adult, because they're a fucking kid. You feel me? They're with they're a child. You feel me? I don't necessarily blame Tristan, but I do feel like the reason why the writers didn't make him be so affected when it came to this storyline is because of what I just said. Tristan was kind of like naive and kind of desperate for love, that he kind of went to the ends of earth just to get it, even if it really wasn't for his heart, like for him. That's why I feel like the writers didn't do anything where it affected him, even though I feel like it should have affected him, because at the end of the day, Mr. Yates was a fucking predator. Because at the end of season 13, Winston kind of told Tristan, "You're not the first boy he kind of came on to," except with Mr. Yates, he got like oral sex and whatever it was, just anything sex wise out of Tristan from a relationship. But Winston kind of told Tristan at the end of season 13 that he touched me too, that he touched me in my private area. I'm trying to understand, why didn't Winston tell anyone? And when they asked like Tristan, why are you like covering for him and everything like that, like why are you saying he's a good person? And then when Frankie was like, oh, you're the student he was having an affair with, Tristan said they were in love. That's what I'm talking about. Tristan's naive mind. And it's like, I can't necessarily blame him, but the writers definitely wrote him naive and stupid because he was desperate for love. Like, you cannot stand here and after a child just told you, one of your classmates just told you that Mr. Yates groped him too, touched him in his private area, and still stand here and say, oh, you and him was in love and he's not the type of person. Just because you had a relationship with him doesn't mean he wasn't what he wasn't. Because in the day, I believe Winston. He had a relationship with you. He had a relationship with a fucking 15-year-old. Nigga's a creep. I would not be surprised if he felt like, oh, touching Winston in his private area was just a one-time thing. I'm trying to understand, why the fuck didn't Winston ever tell anybody? Why didn't he tell his parents? Why didn't they come to the school? Why did we get an episode about that? That's what I'm talking about. This off-screen shit, it does nothing for my favor, because I just feel like they should have did more with Tristan's storyline. Like, Winston said that Mr. Yates touched him too. Okay, let's get an episode about that. Why didn't we get an episode about that? We could have gotten an episode with Winston's POV where Mr. Yates touched him. I probably could have grew to like Winston a little bit more, because he really was just a sidekick character. He was just Frankie's boyfriend and Miles' best friend. They could have did more where it's like, okay, we need an episode of that. I didn't see an episode where Mr. Yates touched him and thought the shit was cool for doing that. You feel me? And then it's like, why didn't Winston tell his parents? Why didn't they tell Mr. Simpson? Like, I don't understand. And it's like, with Tristan, it's like, I really feel like half of the shit that he went through, like storylines when it came to love or relationships, whatever you want to call it, I do feel like the writers did what they did to him because they felt like, Tristan is an insecure character, right? He's insecure when it comes to himself. He feels like he's not good enough for love. He doesn't even love himself. So it's kind of like, how can anyone love him when he doesn't love himself? It's kind of like, his relationship with Miles and shit like that. kind of makes sense why he got played so much, because he didn't love himself. So how the fuck is Miles supposed to love someone who don't even like themselves? Now with the Mr. Yates shit, not blaming Tristan at all, because he got groomed to do stuff and be in a relationship with a teacher that was really fucking disgusting, because Mr. Yates preyed on his insecurities. He knew what Tristan didn't like about himself, knew what Tristan didn't love about himself, so that is why he preyed on him. Tristan is a gay boy and in a sophomore year class, where it's not all gay guys in his grade. He has never had a relationship with any guy, so Tristan is feeling a little insecure when it comes to his sexual history of being a virgin, not having any experience, not having a relationship. This is stuff that he told Mr. Yates. This is stuff Mr. Yates calculated, wrote notes of, to where when it was time for him to bring Tristan to his apartment, that is why he came on to him. Kissed him, try to force him to having sex, try to make him feel like, oh, you're weird because you never had sex. So when Tristan ran out of his apartment, because, look, y'all, because I got to go to the relationship history on here, because I got to make sure I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Tristan grew to having a crush on Mr. Yates once he was like helping him with his poems and writing, right? He told Zoe and Maya that he was kind of crushing on Mr. Yates because he helped him with his writing. They told him that even though you have a crush, you still have to kind of remember he's your teacher and he needs to remember you're his student. It's inappropriate for anything to happen between y'all, because at the end of the day, you're a kid, you're a fucking child, he's a grown adult. And if he feel like it's normal to have sex with a fucking child that's 15 or be in a relationship with a child at 15, nigga needs to be locked up. And Tristan told Zoe that he don't understand what's the big deal with students being in a relationship with their teachers when it's plastered all over in TV shows and books, and that he told Zoe that in her West Drive TV show, a cast member of hers in a TV show had a relationship with a teacher, but Zoe told him that it ended badly because she caught an STI from it. So there's your number one thing. Tristan just named one of the biggest problems. Ooh, excuse me. Woo. So there you go. Tristan kind of just named one of the main reasons why teacher-student relationships need to end and why they're kind of normalized and romanticized, right? He just told Maya and Zoe that he has a crush on Mr. Yates, and that it really shouldn't be a big deal if he wanted to do something sexual with him or if he wanted a relationship with him, because teacher-student relationships are all over the media. They're in TV shows. They're in books. So to him, it's kind of like this shit is kind of normalized and romanticized to the point where it's like, if a real life student wanted to have a relationship with their teacher, what would be the big deal when the world kind of normalizes it? And that's the problem. Teacher-student relationships need to stop being fucking normalized. They need to stop being romanticized. There's nothing normal about a 30-year-old man being with a 15-year-old kid. And then they're a fucking child. Of course, you're going to groom them and try to see what their insecurities are and what they don't love about themselves, so you can pick it apart and use them as your puppet to where you can manipulate and gaslight. Are you fucking serious? So, in that same episode, Mr. Yates invited Tristan to his apartment and told Tristan to specifically not tell anyone. In the terms of him helping Tristan doing his work, he came on to Tristan, gave this nigga alcohol, by the way. They were drinking at the same time. They're talking about how they have an interest in classic movies and stories, right? It's given grooming, right? You know, trying to say you have the same interest as this 15-year-old boy. You're giving him alcohol. You're basically grooming him. This nigga was a fucking creep. So then, when Tristan said that he's not like most of the kids in his class, Mr. Yates said he kind of agrees that Tristan is he's like special. One of his favorite students, he's a special student. Him and Tristan are making out. He kissed Tristan. Then when he like, in the sense of in the tendency of making out with Tristan, he reaches for his belt buckle. Trying to get sexy, trying to have sex with this child. Tristan panics and runs out of his apartment. The next day in school, I'm pretty sure this is the same episode, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, this is the same episode, Hypnotized. In that same episode, Mr. Yates was giving Tristan the cold shoulder and telling him that he thought he was mature enough to handle their relationship or to handle whatever was to come with their relationship. And Tristan explained he didn't expect things between them to move so fast. And Grant says he thought he was mature enough to handle the situation, but was wrong. He says what happened has to stay between them, and Tristan agrees. Grant then gives him a note that he left at his place and reveals he made some notes for improvement. Tristan tells him he didn't need to do that. Grant replies, I know, but before leaving, Tristan sits sadly against the desk. So Mr. Yates pretty much groomed Tristan into having a relationship with him. Pretty much told him he was not mature enough to handle a relationship with him. Told him he was not mature enough to have sex with him. Go say, oh, I thought you wasn't a kid, but maybe I was wrong. First of all, Tristan is 15. He is a child. You're grooming this. You're pretending to act like you care about his work or to see him succeed or excel when it comes to his writing. Well, honestly, what you're trying to get out of it is just something inappropriate. Mr. Yates was a fucking creep. Man. Then it say Tristan goes to Mr. Yates' apartment, hoping to patch things up. Open the door. Try to see what's important. Which Tristan explains why he freaked out for the idea of having sex with him, because he says he's never done it before, and that he freaked out because it was a surprise that he wanted to go that far. Grant pulls him into the apartment. They start making out and basically signifying that they had sex. So this is one of the things that I always felt like kind of irritated me when it came to Degrassi. They always try to make it seem like Tristan was a virgin when I know he wasn't. Every time I watch this episode, I know for a fact the first time he ever had a sexual experience was with Mr. Yates. Mr. Yates groomed this boy into having sex with him because he felt like Tristan acting out or being freaked out of the idea of having sex signified that he was immature and that he was too much of a kid. First of all, it might be people in your high school that's probably is having sex or a more sexual experience than you. Just because you're a virgin and you're not sexual experience doesn't make you weird, and you shouldn't be labeled as immature because you haven't had it. It's one thing for your friends to call you immature or to say you're kiddish because you haven't gone the whole way yet. But for a fucking adult to say you're a child or that you're immature because you don't want to go the whole way with me, they're a fucking creep. For any adult to say you're not mature or that you're very mature for your age is a weirdo. It's given how many other kids have you groomed on? How many other kids have you really did this shit with? It's just weird shit. It's creepy. For it means you have an experience of pretty much coming on to younger kids, to children. The episode where they broke up or ended their relationship was out of my head. So pretty much Maya found out that Tristan and the teacher were fooling around because she saw the hickey on his neck. Tristan kind of told her that, they're in love and they're in a relationship. And he told Maya not to say anything. She told Mr. Simpson. When Mr. Simpson asked Tristan was it true, he, denied it and told him no. But Mr. Simpson still suspended Mr. Yates because of the allegations. I feel like Mr. Simpson should have did more. You have a student who came to you and told you that their best friend is in a relationship with their fucking teacher. Why would they lie? and why would they make it up? That makes no sense. Mr. Yates should have been arrested because I feel like why would any kid come to your office to make some shit up? That just don't make sense to me. They had a fucking relationship at the end of the day. And it's like, Tristan, how do you expect me to keep that on hush mode when it's like at the end of the day, the shit is inappropriate, it's fucking disgusting. Mr. Yates should be with someone his age, not with a 15-year-old boy thinking that the shit is normal or that it's okay when it's not. Mr. Yates got suspended and told Tristan that they cannot continue their relationship and told him that he thought he was mature enough to handle this, which he wasn't, because if he was, he would never told anyone about their relationship. Nigga was in such a hurry, he left before anything could happen. Tristan chit-checked Maya about it and told her that she's dead to him and said that he told her not to blab. Maya said that she couldn't just sit back and just pretend like everything was okay. She was so worried about him and that he was like, for what, that he was in love. He told, basically he's like trying to project his insecurities onto Maya and tell her that she gets to have epic romances, she gets to have all these guys so in love with her, and he doesn't get to experience it. He doesn't get to have love, he doesn't get to get any of it because it's kind of hard for him. And Maya is explaining to him that I want you to have love. I want you to have those epic romantic experiences. I just don't want you to have it with our fucking teacher. Not with him. It's not right. He gonna tell Maya that he doesn't want to be friends with her and that she's dead to him. He never ever wants to see her again. This scene was so dramatic, but I felt like this scene was really, really dramatic. But I felt like they both acted their asses off because back then I used to be on Tristan's side because I used to feel like as a friend, I'm supposed to trust and confide in you. You're supposed to have loyalty to me. If I tell you something, you're not supposed to tell anyone. But I feel like now that I'm an adult, I'm 22 years old because back then I was like 14, 15. I understand where Maya was coming from. I feel like had my friend told me she was in a relationship with a teacher, I would have done the same thing. I would have stopped the shit. I would have went to the police. I would have done anything I needed to do and told them. She told me out of her fucking mouth that they have been sleeping together, that they have been fooling around. I would never lie. And it's like at the day, you can't expect me to sit back and be quiet once you just told me some shit like that. I feel like Tristan was in the complete wrong for shutting Maya out of his life just because she cared and loved for him. It just shows how delusional Tristan is. You're going to cut your friend out of your life just because she did what she did to protect you. She loves you enough to stop it because had the shit kept going on, maybe something bad really would have happened. You feel me? Maya did him a favor, and I feel like 9 times out of 10, whenever Maya and Tristan got into fights and arguments, Tristan was always wrong, and I never liked how they always made it seem like Maya was the villain because she was always doing what was best for him. I understand she can't tell Tristan what's best for him. But at the same time, that doesn't mean she should stop caring or showing that she does care. I feel like the only time she had the right to butt in was with the shit with Mr. Yates because you told me out of your mouth that something was happening between y'all. And you expect me to just sit back and just allow me to do nothing? I just feel like Tristan was always wrong in their arguments because 9 times out of 10, the only reason why she was always apologizing is because he always tried to make it seem like she was the villain. He really loved projecting his insecurities onto Maya and making it seem like she's the problem, why he doesn't get love and doesn't get romances. That has nothing to do with her. That's you and your insecurities. You don't love yourself, which is why you don't have any romantic relationships that last. Maybe you should get to therapy. Maybe you should learn why you don't love yourself, and maybe you can find someone that can love you. Fuck. If I was Maya, that's how I would have been going. Because it's like, if you want me to go there, I could go there. Want me to hit below the belt? I definitely will. I feel like the Tristan and Mr. Yates relationship just shows me why I cannot stand teacher-student relationships and why it kind of pisses me off that they never show how these affect students. These adults never get arrested, or there's never no justice for the kids, never. And it's also feel like a storyline they just wrote for filler to like get the show like going. Because again, they were only together for one episode, broke up in the episode after that. It's kind of like if you weren't going to drag it to where it can actually be a flushed out storyline, why even do it? You feel me? I feel like this storyline did not need to exist at all. That's just my opinion. And I also feel like the only thing I can really say I like about the storyline truly is that I love how this shows that it can happen to boys too. Ooh, excuse me. Because I feel like we live in a society where people feel like boys cannot be raped or whatever it might be. They don't think it happens to boys. They think it always happens to girls. And I feel like I like that this episode shows that it does happen to boys, because I feel like the Menendez brothers shows it happens to them. The Menendez brothers shows that it can happen to boys, because, like I said, the society believes that boys cannot be molested, they cannot be raped. They feel like it just don't happen to boys, and I feel like Dark Side of Kids TV, Drake shows that it can happen to young boys. It can. So that's the only thing I can really say that I liked about it. That it shows that it can happen to boys too, not just girls. We need to break this delusional thing into thinking, oh, it doesn't happen to man. We need to break that. Period. It could be a woman. It could be a man that preys onto a boy. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, this shit is disgusting and wrong. But I just want to get this off of my head. I hate this storyline. It's fucking disgusting. I don't like how they showed that it did not affect Tristan in any shape or form. I didn't like that Mr. Yates didn't get locked up. I feel like it just was filler. It was a storyline they needed to get out of the way so the season can end. I feel like if you want to go flesh it out and actually do something where it can possibly affect Tristan, or like let us see more, then don't even do it at all. I do not like teaching student relationships at all. Don't like the storylines. Don't like anything. Don't like how they're romanticized on TV, books, or any of that. Keep that shit out of teen dramas. You can have a teen drama show without a teacher-student relationship. I said what the fuck I said. Catch you guys in my next video.